Hello there, and welcome to a new series. This will not be a lore series. Well, not exclusively a lore series. Those actually take quite a while to make. This is a series idea that I had where I play through a character on Project 1999 Green all the way to level 60. Cleric is coming out in 2 months from the time of recording this video. And I wanted to pick a character, class, race combo that I've never done before that could solo, but also group. No crazy experience penalties, so no bards, no shadow knights. And yeah, just something different, something new that'll be fun. And also I can offer tips for maybe new players. The plan was to do maybe one video a level, possibly double on hell levels or whatever levels might take a while. And yeah, I thought about just clicking create a new character and going with whatever race class combo I get. But I realized that could be a horrible idea because I might end up with, well, a paladin, for one thing, which I don't want. My most recent playthrough on Project 99 was on Blue, and that was a Wood Elf Druid that I played to 60. It was a lot of fun. I was in Dialport. I am almost exclusively soloed. And that's the thing. I don't want to pick a class that can't get groups, which on a server like this where everyone's kind of min-maxing, druids don't get a lot of groups. They don't even really want a lot of groups because they can quad. And I figured, plus I played that. That might not be the most interesting playthrough. So the compromise that I came to, I thought about doing... I also want to pick a combo that's kind of difficult. So not like easy mode like, a high elf mage or something like that. I thought about doing either a cleric or an enchanter because they can both solo. Now I have played both those classes to 50 on Blue. I played enchanter to 56 actually, which isn't quite 60, but by 56 you know the class. I think that the cleric is where I'm leaning, and I'm leaning Gnome Bertoxilus follower because I think that'll be an added level of difficulty. Now, Gnome Cleric's also difficult because they don't get the best stats. This race is clearly intelligence geared. The charisma is low, so that's going to suck for trying to pacify. The wisdom is low, and I hear people always say, oh, you're always going to hit 255 or whatever the max is for your inter wisdom. On my druid, I never did. I hit 60 and I never hit max wisdom. So on a character like this, where you're starting with even lower, I think I would have to max out wisdom here. Let's see. I did think about doing a half-elf druid, because that's basically hard mode because of these stats. I mean, now that I look at it, they're better than the Gnome Cleric probably, but they're easily the worst stats you can start out with the druid. But I just don't think a druid would make that interesting for a walkthrough to watch. So I'm going to go Gnome Cleric. I'm going to group whenever I can. I like how it goes evil background as soon as you click Cleric. I'm going to group as much as I can, but there are going to be occasions with my schedule where I'm not going to be able to play for more than half an hour, 45 minutes. And you're really just screwing a group if you join them for that long. So soloing has to be an option. I do remember the last time I played a Cleric, it was a long time ago. It was actually 10 years ago, which blows my mind to say. It was on Blue. It's like very early into the days of Project 1999 Blue. I played a Cleric that did solo. Now, I was a Dark Elf in that case, and I had that little snare. Oh, I hate that face. Actually, yeah, I hate that face. I had that little snare. I like this one with the green eyes, the eyebrows, sassy looking. I had that little snare necklace, which made a huge difference for soloing, and I remember soloing a lot in the two places. It's got to be undead focused. It's Kithakar Forest and Guk Bottom. Anyway, I'm not going to do that this time because it's too easy. The only hard part about being a Dark Elf is the faction. You even get hide, which is insane for a cleric. I came to the conclusion that Gnome would be the toughest. I think Uridite is up there a little bit, partly because of the starting area, especially if I went Kazakh Thule. But their stats are actually surprisingly decent. I just don't think it would be as hard. I don't know if I'm going to go male or female. I'm doing this all in real time. I didn't really pre-plan this. That's the kind of walkthrough this is going to be. Ooh, that's something I like about that face, but the nose is... This guy looks sick. I hate the resolution on that one's terrible. That's bad too. That's nice, but that's like what every person picks from what I've seen. That's a surprised and disappointed looking face. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I feel like as a cleric, you're gonna have a helmet on a lot of the time anyway. I like this one. Other than the sideburns, it's a pretty neutral looking face. Yeah, I think this one's not bad either. I don't like the goatee, or Fu Manchu, I should say. Maybe I'll go female. I've never, in the history of my playthrough in this game, I've never done a female. What do the female gnomes even look like? Oh, bangs? It's not cute. I'm gonna have to change that up. Yeah, I might do female. That nose could use some work. Also the little widow's peak part there, not a fan. Whoa. She's cute. Maybe a little too cute for a gnome. That's not bad. I don't like the butt cheek. Chin. Other than that, I like that. That's not bad. Ooh. That is bad. Looks like a miniature Corella DeVille. I don't like that. It just looks like the bad guy of a Disney movie. Rogue? Or was it Storm? Whichever one from X-Men had the little gray streak. Gosh, I'm not loving these options. Maybe I'll go male. I can't decide. I've never played a female, though, and I do want to make this playthrough. I want it to feel fresh for me. Not going to be that. I think that might be my best option. There's one with red hair, right? No, Alright, I guess that's my best option. Let me try male real quick. Yeah, that's the face I like. Let me just see if I can get a name that I like. Oh, I haven't even thought about what stats I'll go with here. I gotta max out wisdom. And I would recommend anyone to do that if they were playing this character. The question is, what do you do with the remaining 5? I always seem to have issues with strength, but that's really just for carrying stuff. 65 is so low, though. Charisma is useful for clerics sometimes, if you're pacifying. In a group and solo, I guess. Stamina is always useful. Boy, this is hard mode either way. I could split the 5, but then what am I really getting out of 2 strength, 2 charisma? Probably not a lot. Oh, the music's back. Let me go charisma. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Charisma. Plaguebringer. Yep. Okay. So this is not evil Bristlebane. This is the only good one. It's weird that it's not giving me the good guy background. This is the bad one, but Bertoxilus is still not like high end bad. He's not like a Nuruk or Kazakh where you're just gonna be hated everywhere. What was the name of? Oh yeah, the name of my channel. Let's see if this is taken. Of course it is. Shoot, maybe I'll go female. Trying something new here. Not that. Yeah, that's... God. Okay, all the stats are still set. Okay, this will be a new one for me. Let's see what this... Yeah, how about that? It rolls off the tongue. These are awful. These get name suggestions are awful. Yeah, Willem Pusil. No. I have a friend who, whenever he plays one of these types of games, RPGs, he plays it. His name is James. He plays a female and he names her Janes. I guess it's a play on his name. Let me see if that's taken. If not, oh, it's not. That actually surprised me a little bit. This server is so packed, and I think that the names from Blue can't be used on here either. Here we go. Starting new. So the goal is to get to 60. Who knows if I'll actually get there. I mean, I will get there. I'm making myself a promise right now. Ooh. Hot toes. Cute. Okay. New player. What do? First of all, you don't pick a gnome cleric worshipping Bertoxilus. I wonder what kind of faction I get right off the bat. How about with Sappho? Indifferent. Interesting. Okay. New player. First thing you want to do is equip what they gave you. Shake what your mama gave you. You don't even get... Okay. Tip number 1. Destroy this. Don't read it. Don't put it in the bank. Definitely don't give it to this guy. This is going to cause you nothing but problems. Destroy it. It's crap. Read your stained note. Why does it have to be stained? You have chosen to become... This is... Your note will tell you where your guild is in whatever your starting city is for your class. And it'll give you sort of a background on... Well, let's just see what it says. You have chosen to become part of the dark reflection and embrace the very shadows that have haunted and chased you your whole life. There is no turning back, Is that a spelling error? I don't know. Seek out Eva Zokes. She will instruct you further. Okay, so it's telling you who your guildmaster is and who you give this note to. Now, you're going to have actually multiple guildmasters. It starts you off with 5 food, 5 drink. That's nice. And some spells, which I will memorize soon. So I know where to go, but those are basically guards, right? Okay, indifferent. I think I'm going to be okay here. Akanon is the only place, starting city, in this game where there are guides to help you. Oh, look at the light. That's so cool. They put guides here. I actually don't know if these work on Product 99. Let's see. Where Cleric Guild? Yeah, it doesn't work. Maybe I need to ask a question mark. Where is the Cleric Guild? I'll even use proper grammar. Nope. Okay, I do remember on live these actually worked. Maybe it's because I'm Bertoxilus. Try this person. I shouldn't say person, it's a robot. Where is the Warrior Guild? No, I don't think they're programmed to work on this server. But if you've never played this server before, it's actually pretty good. I mean, you're never going to find a complete recreation of 1999, hence the name Project 1999. Well, if you wanted to know, the Warriors Guild is right here. I think. It's been a while since I played Nakanon. It's a cool city. It's different. Well, I guess every city in this game is unique. This city is different because the gnomes are like technological geniuses. You get tinkering as a skill. And by the way, I like to set the UI the way that it was. You can tell I'm using the Velius UI here. And yes, I know people hate when I say Velius instead of Velis. Oh, look at that. We've encountered our first other player who is also a cleric and has that disapproved face. Interesting. First Aid. Great name for a cleric. The original game came with the UI, not this UI. It was actually a god-awful UI that clogged up most of the screen. But in retrospect, I mean, we didn't know it back then. I didn't play in 1999. I started playing in 2000, by the way, as a kid that was probably way too young to be on this game. This is how the UI was set up. You had one chat screen. These were over here. Your spells were up here. Hot buttons were over here. No, that's not right. These are reversed. Yeah, these are reversed. Okay. And that's kind of how I like it, except for the one chat box. And actually, as a cleric, well, if you're in a group, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're soloing. If you're in a group, you might want to move this to the middle of the screen or somewhere where it's easier to see. But this is where it was in the original. When you press I, you get your inventory, which this right here is unique to every class. I like this one for the cleric. It's like it's almost shaman-ish. Okay, let's see here. My guild. Does this guy have any good gear? By the way, the other thing I want to do in this playthrough, I mean, I really want to make it tough. Not like Troll Shadow Knight tough, but tough. I'm not going to do any twinking. I actually, my highest character on this server is like level 12. Okay, so if you were a normal cleric, a Brel or Bristlebane, your guild would be up there in Akanon. My character actually looks pretty cool. Having keyboard issues lately. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, got some jiggle there. Alright, that's a little inappropriate, but it was 1999. They didn't know any better. If you are evil, which I am because I follow this god right here, which is going to make certain aspects of this game much harder, your guild is buried down there or down here? I think it's down here. No, this doesn't look right. Is there anything over here? So one thing that you'll notice about Akanon, it's one of the few indoor cities in this game, like player character cities that you can start in. And that's because the gnomes share in common with the dwarves, featured in my last lore video, a creation from the god Brel, who was the underground god. And you'll notice as you run through these cities, the certain sound effects, I guess that's from the Steam, certain music, it's all programmed to activate in certain areas. The only music I'm not going to have on is the combat music. And, oh, who's that guy? Apprehensive, interesting. Okay, so whenever you see two names casting, a first and last, that means it's an NPC. The PC will always only be the first name. And this is where the evil people are. This is where your Necros, your Clerics that follow Bertoxilus. Necros have to follow Bertoxilus if you're a gnome. And actually, if you're any of the int classes, Wizard, Mage, Enchanter, you can... Is that a skeleton just walking around? I wonder if I attack that, if I'll get attacked by these guys. Any class that's a gnome can be Bertoxilus or Brel, and then certain classes can be other deities, like Bristlebane or Ralos if you're a warrior. So let's see, what's the name of this person? Eva? Stain note. Eva Zokes. Okay, so keep looking until you find that person. And whenever you find your guildmaster listed on your little note there, they will be surrounded by people who sell spells related to your class, as well as other guildmasters. And who the guildmaster is doesn't really matter. They're all kind of the same. I guess from a lore perspective, there is a ranking among them, but they can all teach you skills. Oh, a snake. They're all level 1. Interesting. Okay, this is like a total maze. That one's not level 1. This is ridiculous. Now I'm nervous because obsolete model with Glars, I mean, dubious. I'm guessing the clockwork. Okay, these are Necros, I think. If you right click, they'll tell you. Yeah, oh no, Wizard. Wizard, Mage. Okay, so if you chose to be one of those classes and went evil, this is where your guildmaster would be. Where is mine? Where's the Cleric? Might have walked right past it. This is insane. Now I'm back outside. No, this is back where I started. Okay, Eva. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's got that ugly rogue face. Okay. Well, Eva, I have something for you. Girl to girl. Actually, her armor looks pretty cool. I guess that's what I'll look like if I get leather. I have something for you. You hear that? A little trombone? Trumpet? Whatever it is. Wind instrument? That means something good happened. We get this crappy little tunic which if you put it on your little symbol, it'll automatically equip it if it's open. Oh, this is the same for all these classes. That's funny. Shadow Knight. Interesting. I don't know that gnomes ever were able to become Shadow Knights. I know later on they ended up adding more class race combos. Okay, so that's crap. And it's meant to be crap, just like your club is crap. Let's see what she says. So I gave her the note, and she regards me amiably. Only amiably. My own guild. Thought it'd be higher. Join us in fulfilling the will of Bertoxilus. You can train with us here, in the shadows of the Abbey. Oh, maybe Abbey should have been my name. Wear this tunic to help conceal your true identity. What? What does that mean? Okay. I guess maybe because you're Bertoxilus following and they don't want the other gnomes to know that there are Bertoxilus followers down here. That's also why it's hidden, maybe. Just trying to come up with the lore reasoning. Okay, so the next thing I would recommend, because we're about to go out and fight, is to... Actually, I want to switch where these are. I'll move this over here, because you want this to be kind of close to your spell bar. I'm going to move this down a bit. So you start with 2 spells, a hit point buff and a heal. And the hit point buff also buffs your armor class. Armor class at this level doesn't do a whole lot. Scribing spells was what that bar was. Now memorizing spells is this bar, and it takes a lot longer until you get meditate, which I do not have. The fact that it lets me push that button does not mean I have meditate. I do not get meditate until level 8. I looked this up. I am going into this fairly blind, but I did look up before I started what level I get meditate. You start with no money. Now you do get more spells than this, even at level 1. But you start with no money, so you can't buy any spells. Okay. So now I got these 2 spells scribed. And this... It's actually good that they gave you these 2 spells, because it kind of sets the foundation for what your life as a cleric is going to be. You're going to be healing. Move this over here. I'll do another chat box soon. And you're going to be buffing. And you're going to be rezzing, but can't do that for a long, long time. So yeah, so those are my 2 spells, and you can see my hit points went up to, and my armor class, so 34 and 18, and they were 23 and 16 before I buffed myself. And now I don't have enough mana to cast it again. Welcome to life with, well, 102 wisdom isn't terrible. It's lower than some cleric races start before even adding any to wisdom. But hard mode, right? Okay. The next thing you want to do, well, if you right click on your guild master, you get this cool music, and you get to see what level you get all these different skills. Oh, here's another thing I like to do. These are abilities that aren't combat related necessarily. Sense heading is one I always like to have. I'm gonna... Okay. Yeah, I wonder if that's different than if I just do this. No, it's not. Okay. I don't like to have these here. I know some people do. I will at some point add hotkeys for grouping, but at level 1 you don't need any of that crap. You always start out with 5 skill points to put into any skill you want. I recommend 1 into sense heading, because it does seem like there are some skills that if you don't have them at least 1, they won't go up on their own. Same with swimming. Now it's possible that these would go up if I click them enough, but putting 1 into them just makes it a lot easier. Every time you level, you'll get 5 more skill points. You automatically start out with 5 into whatever weapon you started with, which for me was this... Oh, come on. For me was this crappy club asterisk. I'll talk about that later. I mean, I highly doubt there's many people that are watching this that are brand new to the game, but hey, you never know. Or maybe it's been 20 years since you played and you don't remember anything. Alteration is the main one. Now this is going to get interesting when it gets into specialization, because if I am soloing a lot, evocation might actually be the better one to specialize in. But I'll explain specialization down the line. I'll do 1 in conjuration. I don't need evocation yet because I can't nuke, because I only have 2 spells and neither of them are nukes. Alright, I'll explain more about the class as I head out. So all of these merchants here, they're going to sell my spells that I can't buy yet. So all of these... What? No, that's a necro spell. Okay, that's weird. Maybe this one? What? Why would they put necro spells next to the Cleric Guildmaster? Oh, here's another thing you should do. These are all necro spells. This is ridiculous. You should always hail your guildmaster and see if they have any quests for you when you're starting out. Be wary, Janes. There are unseen powers within these mines that can destroy the strongest warriors or the wisest seers. Okay, so typically if there's a quest, it'll have brackets around the words. And I don't see any here, but let's just try. Sometimes, move this up a bit. Sometimes they leave out the brackets, especially when it comes to race class combinations that they might have expected no one's going to choose, like Gnome Cleric that follows Protoxos. What unseen powers? Let's say that unseen powers was in... Yeah, no, nothing. Let's say unseen powers was in brackets. If I asked her what unseen powers, I would get more dialogue that would lead me to a quest. I just don't get... There's got to be other... That guy looks like a cleric. But he's not. He's a rogue. This guy looks like a cleric. And he is. Okay. If you right-click on a person and it opens up this screen with this music, it means they're a guildmaster. Okay, let's see if he has a quest. He doesn't. Come on, this race class is hard enough without giving me any freaking quests. The problem is, like, obsolete model. This race class combination is probably obsolete. The problem is, for a lot of these, where they probably figured, hey, no one's going to pick this class race combo, with this deity especially, they tended to do a bad job of giving you quests. If I were to pick, say, I don't even know what they, going into the game, thought most players would choose. But let's just say like a human paladin. There's probably a ton of quests for human paladins. Maybe some of these are cleric spells. Yeah, here we go. This person sells cleric spells. Okay. I can't afford any of these, but it's good to know that this is where they are. Yeah, these are all level 1 spells. Okay, so that's level 5, but where is it? Strike. That's a level 1 spell that's a nuke. Now, 12 mana. Okay, I'm going to talk about that as I head out of here, if I can find the exit. 12 mana is a lot of mana for level 1, but you can probably find a wizard nuke that also costs 12 mana. What's the difference? Can clerics nuke as good as wizards? No, unless it's undead, and that comes later. But as a cleric, you have the ability to nuke, and this is something that they do in this game that's very RPG, very old school RPG. Every class is designed to do one thing better than any other class, with a couple of exceptions. Cleric is one of those classes that is designed to do one thing better than any other class. Maybe one or two things. In the cleric's case, that one thing is healing. Clerics can heal better than any other class. Can they nuke? Yes. Can they buff? Yes. In fact, in terms of hit point buffs, they arguably have the best buffs in the game. That one gets a little complicated because there's different classes of buffs. Nothing to worry about yet. But while they'll give you one thing that you're the best at, there's going to be like 5 or 6 things that you can do that you're the second or third or fourth best at. You can do them, just not well. And for a cleric, nuking is one of those things. You can nuke, but you can't nuke well. But clerics are designed to be the enemy of undead, or the savior against undead, something like that. And again, I know where I'm going here, that's why I'm not getting too lost. I go past Hot Toast Corpse. Clerics get really inefficient nukes. So that strike spell that I showed you, that spell costs 12 mana and it does like 7 or 8 damage. It's pretty bad. It's a bad mana to damage ratio. So like a wizard would start out with a spell that costs like 6 or 7 mana probably, and does the same damage, say 10. And when you start out with strike at level 1, it's going to do whatever it is, 8 damage. As you gain levels, it'll increase the amount of damage it does by a little bit, but it'll also max out. And strike probably maxes out at about level 4 or 5, doing maybe 12 damage at most. So then you're doing, if that is the case, hey there. Man, a lot of female gnomes today. If that is the case, none as good looking as this lady, though. Actually, she looks just like me, with a different robe. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, okay. So your nukes, that's weird. Your nukes that can hit any target are always going to be inefficient. They're always going to cost more mana than they do damage. Or they may cost less mana than damage, but they'll still be way less efficient than a wizard's nukes, or a druid's nukes, or a magician's nukes. Okay, those I think are level 2, so they're yellow. So you always, at level 1, you always want to fight even cons. But just know going forward, yes, you can nuke, but it'll always be inefficient because your class was not designed to be a nuking class. The other thing to notice there, in addition to it being quite a gamble, which is associated with the yellow con, it's threateningly, which means if I get close to it, it'll attack me. Now here is a classic level 1 mob that you're supposed to fight at level 1. This, let me put my buff back on. So 2316 goes to 3418. This I should be able to kill. Oh, I do have combat music turned on. Let me turn that off. It's still on, I guess if I... Yeah, it should be off. I don't like the combat music in this game. It gets very repetitive. I plan on supplementing this walkthrough with RPG music, let's call it. Okay, so I killed that. I got 1 copper, which is the lowest possible amount of money you can possibly get. That's not 0. And is nowhere near enough to get my spells. And I got a bone chip. And bone chips, there probably isn't a quest for bone chips for gnome anything really. But you can still sell them. I'm probably going to avoid fighting those because they're in my guild area and I know that they're on a faction. Faction is a whole nother thing to talk about in this game. This is a merchant who will be indifferent to every race class combo in the game because they are kind of druids. They sell druid spells, but you can sell anything to them. Anything that's not no drop, like that. But she'll give me 1 silver, 4 copper for my bone chips, which I might end up selling at some point. I should have looked, in fact, I might still have it. See how much strike cost. So when you kill something like that skeleton, you'll get experience. And once you fill up this bar of experience, you'll hit the next level. I don't think that I clicked on strike. I didn't. Okay, in my next fight, I will create another chat window. There's another even con, another skeleton, good to go. So how to create a new chat window, you right click on the one that you do have, and you go to new chat window. I like to move it over here, make it about the same size as the other one. What's the point of having 2, you might ask? Well, it makes it easier. In fact, I'll make this one a little bit bigger. Make them both the same size. A second chat window makes it easier. Loot this corpse real quick. Great, click on corpses to loot them. Hey, I got 5 times the amount of money that time. Having multiple chat windows makes it easier to see things so that everything doesn't spam into one chat bar. I can filter out, let's do melee, your hits, melee, your being hit. I do want to collect these bone chips, just in case there is a quest. Oh, okay, so that kobold, well, there, I didn't even have to con it. It's going to attack me no matter what. In fact, now's a good time to use my heal spell for the first time, to actually heal myself. That's the benefit of being a cleric. You can fight and heal. Now, every class can fight at this low of level. And you can see you get experience pretty quickly in level 1. Not so much later on, although that is going to partly depend on your race class combo. I think as a gnome, there's no experience penalty. As a cleric, there's no experience penalty. So I should be good on those fronts. I'm like at base level 0% penalty, 0% bonus. And you usually get more money from any kind of humanoid mob. Although a skeleton is a humanoid, I suppose. But you can get money or armor. So for example, if I killed that coyote, which I can't, I don't think it would give me any money or any items. Whereas the skeletons, the kobolds, they have the potential, because they're humanoids, to drop items, and they're social. So even though they con indifferent to me, if one sees me attacking another, it'll come and help if it's close enough. I'm getting my ass kicked here. Not good. Probably gonna die here. Okay. So this is the life of a cleric. You're fighting, you're healing, you're getting hit, you're barely surviving, you're getting interrupted, you're getting the spell off. You regain your concentration. That's an important thing to see there. If you're getting hit and the mob that's attacking you, these are called mobs. Don't ask me what it's short for, I don't remember, but it's a common RPG term. Oh god, I'm getting hit again. Is there another one? Damn it. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Well, it's part of the game. You kill and you get killed. Hey look, my defense is still going up even while I'm on the ground and can't move. Nice little bonus. The other thing that's annoying, I'm pressing my inventory button right now. There you go. My first death before level 2. Well, this isn't going to be one of those 0 death walkthroughs. And you get this depressing music when you die too. I don't remember what I was talking about before I was going to die. You always start outside your home city. You can change, that's called your bind point. If you do /character or just char, it'll tell you where you're bound. See, that's a tip that even experienced players might not know. I'm an experienced player, so I like to think. And there's probably things I don't know. I'm sure someone will point things out to me. But you can change that later on. Actually, you can change it at any level, but you need someone else to change it for you. You need a casting class to bind you somewhere. As a cleric, I am a casting class. I don't get that spell until level 14, I believe. Okay. So, corpse retrieval in this game. Big part of the game. You're going to die. You got to go get your corpse. Your corpse has all your stuff on it. I don't have a bunch of stuff to even loot, but I want my bread, or fish cakes, whatever they're called. There's my corpse. Super sad. But I still got that smile. Not gonna let the world get me down. Bread cakes. I want those. My skin of milk, which sounds disgusting. But, you know, it's a tough world out there. And if you just right-click this stuff, it'll auto-equip, except for stuff that doesn't equip, then it'll automatically go into your inventory. Oh, worth it. Now, when I died, I didn't lose any experience. And that's because I'm level 1. If I was level 5 or higher, I would lose experience every time you die. Now, earlier I mentioned that clerics get the ability to resurrect. Oh, every time you die, your spells get unmemorized, which is just kind of an added kick in the nuts that this game gives you. You lose experience, all your spells get unmemorized, your corpse is wherever you died. You have to try and get back to your corpse naked without anything. It's ridiculous. But it's also kind of awesome. Because games these days are too easy, or so people think. Especially if you played this game 20 years ago. This game does not hold your hand at all. Back in the day, you didn't even have all these websites. I mean, you did have some websites that tried to piece together information, but man, you were just lost. You had a lot to figure out on your own. An infected rat, yellow and dubious, meaning it won't attack me, but it'll probably kill me if it's yellow. What was I saying a minute ago? Oh yeah, so I died, I didn't lose experience. It's because the game says, okay, if you're under level 5, we're hardcore, we're not that hardcore. We're not going to punish you for dying under level 5. But let's say I was level 30 and I died. I would lose a lot of experience. Like, potentially hours worth of time that I spent getting experience, which is that'll happen later on. I'll lose that. Clerics are one of 2 classes in the game, and this is one of the things they do better than any other class. They can revive another player and reduce the amount of experience that they lost, which is amazing. And other players will pay you good money. By money, I mean platinum, which is the currency in this game. I'm not talking about real life money. I mean, maybe they would if they're desperate enough. And you'll get desperate when you lose enough experience. Oh, look, someone said something. See, this is the social aspect of the game right here. You get to see someone say thank you and out of character. You can /who. I do / as a... See who's talking. I do / because it's a shortcut for /who. But if you type /who in a name, It'll tell you who that player is. Okay, so I killed the skeleton, and I got this cloth cape, which gives me 2 more armor class for very low weight. Small cloth cape, important to note, because that means as a gnome I can wear it. And I got this. Why can't I equip this? Because clerics don't get one-hand slashing as an ability, ever. Clerics are meant to use blunt weapons. These skeletons are the best thing you can kill at this level. And the kobolds, because they'll give you money. Damn it. Damn it, it's yellow. The other problem with coyotes, in addition to being yellow, because they are an animal, they can run faster than me. Like, a lot faster. Oh boy. Oh boy. Which really sucks, because it means it's harder to run away. Now, as a level 1, a level anything really, if you're getting killed, sometimes you can run to a guard. And the game purposely starts you off in an area where there are guards. There's my guard. He regards me apprehensively, but he regards this coyote that's killing me even worse. Whew. See, he killed it. Thank you. See, I thanked him. He doesn't care. He's a computer. Yeah, always run to the guard at low level if you're getting killed by something that is too strong for you. And again, I didn't even pick that fight. That thing came after me, unprovoked. That's part of the game. Certain enemies will come at you unprovoked. They'll be faster than you. In fact, every NPC, non-player character in this game is faster than you. But here's another tip. When you're running, so I've got auto run on, and you do control and to the left, you'll strafe. When you're strafing, here's what it looks like third person. When you're strafing, you'll actually run faster than you do running straight. Another tip that most people know is when you run and jump, you'll also run faster than if you were just running. The problem is every time you jump, you lose some of this yellow. When you run out of yellow, you can't jump anymore. The yellow rejuvenates as long as you have food and drink. But it doesn't rejuvenate instantly. It takes a little while. Mana and hit points will also recover on their own. Oh, get away from that coyote. See, this is why I don't like being down here. And this is something that people typically do when they solo throughout the whole game. You want to try and stay close to the walls. I mean, I know I'm saying all this stuff like you're a total noob, but some people are total noobs. If you stay close to a wall, I'm not going to touch those because they're in a faction. Stay close to a wall, nothing can creep up behind you because nothing can go past the zone wall, which is what that is. Now I'll do a spiderling if they're even. Some spiderlings will be level 1, some will be level 2. Isn't this fun? Who doesn't love running around? And she really moves with some gusto. I like it. It's going to be fun. The game, I don't know. It is fun at this level, but it's a different kind of fun. There are quests that you can do. Well, maybe I can't because I don't know that they gave me any quests because they figured no one would play this race class combo. But there are quests that you can do that make it kind of fun. You know, collect whatever, 5 kobold paws or 10 bone chips or whatever. And sometimes you get little items for doing those quests. I must be close to leveling. I am. And this video will end when I level. There's quests that you can do. There's the fact that you level so much quicker at this level. Everyone can solo. Like even classes later on, like rogues or, I don't know, whatever class would struggle to solo. They can all solo at this level, which is really cool. I mean, it would have been impossible to start the game off and say, you got a group from level 1. For most classes, it is more efficient to group later on. I would say that about level 5 is when it becomes, more gear. About level 5 is when it becomes efficient to group, especially if you're in an area where you can get drops that give you experience. See, I want to run away so that I don't accidentally attract that skeleton. So I want to pull this guy to an area that's safe. So, as a gnome, I start out on the continent of Fedor. On Fedor, there is a zone called Crushbone and Greater Fedark that has orcs. those orcs can drop belts that you can turn in for experience in Kaladin. Now, I might not be able to because of this, Bertoxilus. You actually just do that, and that looks awful. Make it dark, and make it a little bit transparent. 90. And normal, save 95. There we go. Those are just little things I do to make it easier to see through the UI. See, this one might not use yellow. Oh, and here's what I'll do. Example of a merchant here. I bet you I'll get like 2 or 3 silver for this from this merchant. Now, this merchant regards me indifferently. My charisma will help with prices, but the better faction than a merchant... Oh, 2 gold. Wow, that's pretty good. Oh, that actually will help me get some spells. I'll do that in the next video. I'll go back and get some spells. Your faction with an NPC, a merchant, will help get different prices. So indifferent means I'm right in the middle. They regard me completely, I mean, hell, they picked a good word for it. Indifferent. They don't care if I'm alive or dead. It's kind of rude, but you know, that's how the world is. This world is particularly cool. Below indifferent is apprehensive, means I'm a little against you, is what they're saying. You're going to get worse prices from a merchant that regards you apprehensively than indifferently. Below apprehensive is dubious. That's one level, one tier away, I should say. This is actually good because I'm getting the full scale here, except for apprehensive. Dubious is, I'm not going to attack you, but I really dislike you. And a merchant that's dubious probably won't even sell to you. So you right-click them and nothing happens. They give you a little speech that says, get lost, basically. Then you've got the first level of faction where they will attack you, which is threateningly, which is what those coyotes are to me. I don't think there's a practical difference between threateningly and scowling, but scowling is basically letting you know, like this kobold did, that you're... See? Look, oh, 2 big things just happened. One is some guy relived nostalgia in out of character, which can be seen in the whole zone. And I hit level 2. Oh, and I got some cloth sleeves that I can sell because I already have them. Perfect. I am definitely going to be able to afford some spells. If you do /who or just /, you can see who's in the zone. We've got 12 people here. And that guy was a level 2 enchanter. I'm going to put him on my friends list. Maybe I'll group with him sometime. Or maybe not. Maybe he doesn't want to group because he's an enchanter and they can solo pretty well. But also we're level 2. Okay. Alright. That's going to be it for this video. Showed you the basics of how to create a character, what to do in your starting zone, how to turn in your guild note, how to get level 2, and how to just be a citizen in Norath. Okay. Bye.